Welcome to this narration of the garden flute walk I did. I put this together just kind of as a little idea. I just got my garden all planted. A few more things to go, but it's getting to where I want it. Spring is sprung. It's middle of April. It was a nice, beautiful rainy day after several days of really warm weather, and the garden is just vibrant green. Everything's starting to come up. And so I thought I'd get my flute. I'm here playing my flute a little bit as I walk. And I'm just going to do a little tour around the garden. This wall here on the left I'll talk about in a minute, but as we're walking through the garden here, I just want to describe everything that is here. So these little round metal dishes you'll see more. And these dark spots in the grass are places where I've dug holes where on the left you'll see those round stones we'll step on here in a minute. And those stones were in each of those little round spots. So I dug the dirt up there and then I added some dirt from my chicken coop and dug that all up and put it in there so it's really fertile. Now I'm sitting here around the fire, and this spot here is in the shape of a question mark around the fire, as you can see here. And it was designed for people to come here. There's some kindling and such here to burn in the fire, and a chair to sit on, find presents. And it was pretty cool as I was walking around here, some of the things that happened, which you'll see later in the video. So I'm just stepping stone to stone around this question mark shaped design I have around the fire. And it's a place to come and open up and discuss and have questions, and not necessarily find answers, but it's in the asking of the questions that we are really able to expand. So as I continue walking here, I'm just kind of showing around. There's a lot of stuff growing. This is trumpet flower in these two columns as I enter into this circle, which I planted sunflowers again for the first time in a couple of years as far as designed in this circle. So where each one of these metal round things are, there are giant sunflowers. I got some seeds from my brother Glenn, and there's some giant sunflowers planted in there, and going to have my sunflower circle again for the first time in a while. I've had in that circle there last few years, I've had Jerusalem artichokes, which are another type of sunflower, food-based. The roots are edible. So as it came over here, a crow crowed up the line here, and so I started kind of playing toward that crow. Sometimes the birds will interact. This is rhubarb I'm stepping by here. It's just starting to come out fresh. This tree, as I'm coming up here, is a peach tree that volunteered in that spot. Just on the right of that fence to your right was a peach tree years ago, and one of the peach pits came up this year. These pots all have different kind of medicinal plants in them. There's some catnip there and some echinacea. This is a tree that volunteered a couple of years back, and it's growing fast. I'm going to leave that there as some shade in my garden. I've divided the garden into some sections here. By this fence on the left, I've dug there some spots to plant domesticated vine morning glory, and it's going to climb all up on that wall of wires and panels there on the left and up around all this. Last year it did, and it was just getting a good start. And this year I'm hoping it's going to cover that whole thing. This is my wisteria plant growing over this archway that I fashioned for it to grow over. Also grows around that fence to my left. Right here along the edge of it on the left where it's dug up, I'll plant other plants there. And there's St. Francis there on the left. Wind spinner, I've got several other wind spinners I'll be setting up. I've also, in the middle of the sunflower circle, there got some ancient corn planted. There's corn in several places. There's sunflowers in others. In this archway that I built here, In the middle there was these bricks on the right and left were in there, and I've taken all the bricks out and dug that up. And there's dwarf sunflowers planted in there, so there'll be sunflowers growing underneath this spot. It should be pretty nice. We'll do another video after everything grows. Another St. Francis. This light colored kind of leafy stuff, that is hollyhocks. My chickens are here checking me out. And as I'm playing here and they're kind of interacting with me, all of a sudden I heard a woodpecker peck up on this pole. And as I start playing here, up on the pole to the left of me, you'll all of a sudden hear the woodpecker start to peck, and then I start playing with it, which was kind of cool. So up on that pole there, you can see the woodpecker. He's hanging out, calling back and forth. I started twittering my tongue really fast, like he was pecking really fast. In the original video, you can hear it really well, but it was kind of cool. Woodpeckers for me are a very powerful symbol of my great-grandfather Amos. And my teepee, you could see as I was walking around there, I had a woodpecker land on it the first day that I put that up, and it was symbolic to me. This dug up spot here in front of me has corn, squash, gourds, and sunflowers, and beans, Fremont beans and green beans, bush beans, that will grow up over the top of that lattice there as well. And then as I got to this spot, I didn't know it, but Ray was up in the window videoing me. There's video of that and the two perspectives. As I came over here and I was playing the flute to my chickens, they were kind of being chatty. They thought I had a treat for them, but I was too busy playing music at the moment. They've already had some treats today. On the right there in that box is sweetgrass that's growing. I'm going up here by the teepee. This archway here has bells in it, so I kind of rang those, walk around the lawn. Got some stuff planted in that planter there. I'll walk over to this tree, which is really pretty. It's got some moss growing on the outside. This is the north side of the tree. Ray is up there videoing me, and I didn't know it. But I come over to the wind chimes, and I touch both of those, which adds to the song that's all I'm playing on the flute. Lightly. And come around the corner and face this tree. And this tree has a face in it. You can see two eyes and a mouth, and then above it there's a carved face that we bought. It's a resin face, it's not wood. But as I was playing right here, the crows fly up in the tree there, and they start making some noise, and so I start playing toward them, walking back over to that panel where I'm going to plant the morning glory. It'll be beautiful. It'll be purple and pink and white. Got some varieties there. Then I'll just come over here to the edge of the fence, stop there for a few minutes. I'll caw at the crows a couple of times, and then just zoom the video up until they leave. But that's just a little view of my garden as it's beginning. This is the birth of the garden. This is the beginning of the garden. And this rain today on April 15th on tax day has been just such a blessing. We were needing a little bit of water, and now we have it. So I'm pretty excited about that. And it'll be a nice little kickstart to the garden to get going. There's the crows, a couple of crows. They're pretty frequent attenders there in the garden. When I start playing the flute and stuff, they'll come around. Blue jays as well. In fact, a blue jay flies through here in a second, and here it comes, I think. Yeah, there it is. There's the blue jay with a peanut. And landed in the cherry tree with cherry blossoms. Such a beautiful, beautiful day. This is what my garden is all about. And it's a space to come, to be, to find presence, to sit in the garden, to listen, to ask questions, sit around the fire, and just be. Just be. Just be.